Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining. This is meteorologist Andy Agudev here with the weather. Winter storm warnings, winter storm watches, and winter weather advisories are currently being issued across the middle of the country and for the southeast. There's winter storm warnings for the northern counties of South Carolina. Even the most northeastern tip of Georgia is under winter storm warnings and winter storm watches for northeastern Georgia and most of northern South Carolina, for all of western North Carolina, parts of southern Virginia, and even tiny bits of southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky. This is for a snow and ice storm which will develop from Winter Storm Diego as it tracks from Texas and Louisiana towards the Carolinas. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour are expected, along with some freezing rain in some areas. Some of the highest elevations could get as much as 3 feet of snow. And there's also a storm warning that's being issued just off the Cattaraugus coast for wind gusts in excess of 50 knots, which will be close to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts off the East Coast. Now let's look at the models. And as you can see, this is going to be one heck of a storm. This is looking at the European model right now, and the current run is showing some significant snowfall right here. It looks like some areas will be getting as much as 2.5 feet of snow. So anything above purple, so you can see most of North Carolina will be getting 1 to 2 feet of snow. Even parts of northeastern Georgia will be getting copious amounts of snow. But let's not forget about another huge danger: freezing rain. Very, very heavy amounts of freezing rain. Some areas might get in excess of 2 inches of freezing rain, according to this model. Let's look at that, 2.14 inches of freezing rain. That numerous trees and power lines will come down with that amount of freezing rain accumulation. But there'll be a general tenth of an inch to even as much as half an inch of freezing rain accumulation, which will definitely down a lot of trees and power lines. So I expect in this area for there to be hundreds of thousands of people without power. This is going to be a very dangerous situation. And let's look at the snowfall now. So not only are you going to have all that freezing rain, snow, but then you're going to have freezing rain on top of it because it's going to snow first. And then it's going to transition into freezing rain. That's going to be a big problem because this is when the freezing rain will start falling. Sunday into Mondays when the freezing rain will fall. And by that time, you're going to have a lot of snow that has fallen. And with all that snow into being weighed by freezing rain on top of that will add even more weight. Because this is going to be a wet snow event, which already has a lot of weight. And then add freezing rain on top of that, a lot of trees and power lines will fall. Hundreds and thousands of people will be without power, especially in the Charlotte area. Let's look at the surface temperatures. You'll see this is when it's going to transition into freezing rain, as some warm air will try to work in aloft, while surface temperatures will still be at or below freezing, which will lead to lots and lots of freezing rain. So let's look at precipitation type right here. And as you can see, as the storm comes in, snow, and then changes to freezing rain. And then regular rain, but by then the damage will already be done. This is when most of the damage is going to occur. That's sleet here, freezing rain and snow. So the purple is freezing rain, the red is sleet. So right here, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. So looking at the accumulation of snowfall, this is going to be a pretty significant storm, especially by North Carolina standards. This will definitely not be as bad as the blizzard of 1993 as a superstorm, but it will still break records, especially for December. This may be one of the biggest storms in December history for North Carolina in the history of December. And looking at the NAM right now, another very reliable model. This is that was a 3K. I'm looking at the regular NAM model. Look what the regular NAM is showing here. Well in excess of 2 feet of snow. This is looking at the Canadian model right now. The Canadian model is forecasting a very heavy snowstorm for southern Virginia. This one has a Virginia impact here. Even DC might get a little snow from this. This storm is going to be extreme. So here the purple just means really heavy. Look at this right here. The Canadian is forecasting a very, very extreme snowstorm for Southern Virginia. So this will be a mostly North Carolina and Virginia event. Let's look at the NAM again. I'm just going to try to show you one more time where the heaviest snow is going to fall. It looks like extending from northwestern North Carolina, from western North Carolina through Southern Virginia. Even parts of South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and parts of Kentucky and West Virginia will also get into a lot of snow. Even southern tip of Kentucky could get up to a foot of snow. I cannot stress this enough that this is going to be a very high impact event. Many people will lose power. There's going to be a lot of travel disruptions, especially through Monday, and it looks like Monday might be another little event here as more cold air wraps in behind the storm. And there's even a possibility of a secondary storm forming. And the GFS right now is hinting on that possibility as well. But they're saying this storm is going to be further off the coast. No impacts to New York City out of this. In fact, the next few storms are going to be mostly rain producers. But look at December 20th. A coastal storm tries to develop right around between hour 288 and 300. Most likely it's going to be a rain event, but cannot rule out a pretty heavy snowstorm by the end of December as the pattern is going to shift to a more cooler pattern. But still, very little snow for New York City as this is going to be mostly rain, but by then it could change radically. Looking at the GFS ensemble, the global ensemble forecast system, going out 10 days, still not a lot of snow, nothing much to speak of here. And so my take on this is this is going to be an extremely dangerous situation. Freezing rain, I think, will cause most of the power outages. Well, there's going to be a lot of wet snow. I think what's really going to cause all the damage and destruction is going to be the freezing rain after the snow, because the freezing rain is going to add on to that weight. Just remember, just half an inch of freezing rain of ice on power lines can add up to 500 pounds of weight. And there's a power line diagram that I looked at that showed that an inch of freezing rain can cause an almost 10-foot drop. You know the high transmission power lines? The ones you see when you get out of New York City, or if you see them across the country, just 1 inch of ice can cause them to sag by as much as 10 feet, and that can bring the whole power line down. There was an ice storm that hit upstate New York and southern Canada in 1998, caused millions of people to lose power, especially in Ottawa. That was followed by a horrible cold blast, and there were hundreds of thousands of people without power across most of upstate New York, southern Canada. It was just a disaster for them. That's what could happen in North Carolina, especially in some areas. Hopefully the effect will not be as bad as I'm expecting, because that's just going to be a disaster. I really hope that doesn't happen. I hope they just get snow and nothing else, because snow is a lot better than freezing rain. Freezing rain just causes a bunch of issues, causes people to lose power, causes people to get sick, and it's just going to be a disaster, and I really hope that doesn't happen. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, and I hope to make another video tomorrow, as I'm going to be getting into a more daily routine, just like my friend and colleague David Schlotthauer on his other YouTube channel. Yeah, hey David, Dave is a really good friend of mine, and I think you should go check out his channel. He already has 10,000 subscribers. I helped him, set up his YouTube channel. The reason I'm not at 10,000 is because I've been really busy with school. I'm trying to become a professional meteorologist, just like Dave is. Even though I've been on YouTube for a very long time, I unfortunately do not have all the time to make YouTube videos. But now I do. And, me and Dave are going to be, looking out for each other, and hopefully we'll one day partner up and have our own YouTube channel, both of us. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Peace.